Jalen Brunson is currently taking 29 shots per game in the playoffs, which is incredible because the last player to shoot this much and win a playoff series was Allen Iverson back in 2001. AI put up 30 shots a night while carrying a grisly group of defenders all the way to the NBA Finals. And Brunson is performing a similar feat with a gritty team of defenders and rebounders around him, which was epitomized in their Game 4 win down in Philly. Before we get to that, the first two games of this series were a shooting slog for Brunson. He's small by NBA standards, so the 76ers stuck a bunch of bigger bodies on him, and that extra length bothered him, shooting just 29% from the floor in the opening two games. Now, even though his shot was off and the pressure impacted his scoring, all of the defensive attention he was given early in the series opened up opportunities to create for his teammates. Oubre is hounding him away from the ball and overplaying the pass here, so Brunson cuts back door. That collapses the defense, and Kyle Lowry probably overhelps, but we end up with 4 76ers around Brunson, and ultimately that cut leads to an open corner three. This time it's Batum trying to stay with him off ball. When he flies off the screen and catches it, instantly jabs back to his right to use the pick, and again Lowry is pulled way over off Josh Hart to help here. 3 defenders shifted to Brunson, leaves Hart wide open at the top. They get him off ball yet again. Oubre's overplaying him this time on the pass, so the ball goes to Hartenstein first. Brunson cuts back door, then touches it right back to him before the help can arrive. So even in a poor shooting game, when the defense throws that much attention at you, good decision making can make life really easy for your teammates. This time he's on ball, isolating against Oubre. Embiid stays to overload the strong side and help, and when Brunson gets to the baseline, makes this beautiful one-handed pass for a dunk. And we even saw some old school gravity in this game. Brunson gets off the ball here. They pitch it and swing it around. They're looking for that same backdoor cut on the overplay, but Oubre's in front of Brunson this time, so he cuts to the other side. That creates a little confusion as Maxey calls for a switch. Oubre's still focused on Brunson. 2 guys go to him, and DiVincenzo's open for 3. So even with his struggles, the Knicks ran just about everything through him, even getting him off ball like this to come off screens for handoffs and collapse the defense that way. Here they set a pick in the backcourt to spring him, and with Joel Embiid in a deep drop, he can walk into a 3. And slowly but surely, he started to find better shots in the flow of the game to uncork that scoring. I liked his patience in this game. This is a double screen where he could go left or right. He actually faked left first, then went right but pulled that back. Then he buckles Oubre with the in and out but doesn't force it against Embiid, and Kyle Lowry's pulled down to help, so it's another Hart triple. And off an offensive rebound here, he waits for an Isaiah Hartenstein screen, doesn't use it, but sets up this little fake step back to get by his man and bounce it off for a little floater. Only when Embiid went to the bench did he press toward the hoop more. And before that one rolled in, they went to a high pick and roll for him. Again, the crossover to reject the screen, and the big is out high, so he attacks with that nasty jab cross and the layup. Brunson's essentially attacking different defenders differently. Lowry's on him here, and he knows with his height advantage he can go to a sweet spot and rise up over him. But this time it's the bigger Kelly Oubre, so he pulls it back after the first cross, waits for Hartenstein to flip the screen, and then pulls up in the pocket in front of Embiid. This time Nico Batum's hounding him, so he fakes the step back, waits for Hartenstein to again come over and change the angle of the pick at the last second, then feels Harris cheating over, so he swings it to OG Anunoby for an easy jumper. Compare that to this beauty, where Oubre's working hard to fight around screens, Hartenstein flips it on him again, and then he can just go vintage Brunson on Embiid in the paint. And in addition to masterful screening, Jalen has Joel in space here, so the quick threat to shoot throws him off balance, and the crossover into the floater do the rest. This was basically just a masterclass in when to pull up, pull back, pass, or just drive. And that carried over into Game 4 with a pick near half court. Note that Embiid is out at the three-point line, but again, Jalen dribbles his defender right into the flipped screen, so Embiid is out of position, and that's an easy pull-up jumper. Same concept here, set the pick out high, Brunson jukes right but can't shake Oubre, re-screen and flip it. Embiid's out to meet him beyond the foul line now, so it's a big hesitation dribble while staring at the pocket pass. That moves Embiid back and creates a little space. And on this one late in the second, Embiid's out beyond the three-point line. Jalen sees that, so he pulls it all the way out to half court on the rescreen, and now he's back to attacking in space and gets into that two-footed bag. This one is an off-ball counter where they want Brunson to come off a screen first, but Batum's face guarding him to deny the catch. So Hartenstein just flips that screen and Jalen flares out the other side, and that is filthy. And remember, this is the same dude who set up his defender for a fake screen earlier in the season, so he's just an encyclopedia of counter punches and setups out on the floor. Here's another one where Brunson slow rolls his man by stopping and looking right like there's more screening action, then crosses to get into the paint, but Embiid is waiting, so he goes and chases the ball on the reset. That pulls two defenders and springs hard for a drive and some free throws. And so even though Brunson's the most ball-dominant player in the league right now by time of possession, getting him off the ball has pulled on Philly's defense and opened up scoring windows for either himself or for his teammates as the defense scrambles around to recover. Another curveball they busted out was having Anunoby screen for Brunson and then playing pure iso ball if the help never came. And he put Tobias Harris right in the torture chamber, first with that up and under, then with a series of jabs and little hesitations just to set up a fake fadeaway into that sweet kiss, and John Starks says do more of that. By the way, OG switching onto Embiid after Hartenstein left with 5 fouls was a critical part of this win, because he was able to push Embiid's catches way out high with his strength and make getting him the ball difficult, which ate up a bunch of the clock before they sent a double team and basically just short-circuited the Philly clutch offense. The other big part of this game was how tired Embiid and the Sixers were, logging big minutes in the second half. But the Knicks lived to be tired. Hart's averaging 41 minutes a game in the last month. Brunson played 45 in Game 4. And when you get tired, that's when they start dominating the offensive glass. They scooped in 7 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter of Game 4, which meant they recovered nearly half of their misses, and their technique of crashing and pushing defenders closer to the basket protects them in transition while applying a ton of pressure on a scrambling, tired defense like this. Look at how gassed Philly is on this play. Embiid's beyond the three-point line, Oubre lets Brunson get back to the middle, and no one has the energy to come help. With Jalen on the bench this season, the Knicks had just a 108 offensive rating, but that improved by 15 points into the 95th percentile when he was on the floor. And a big part of that success comes all the way back to the variety of his attack and all those crafty high IQ counters. He tries a quick ISO here, but the defense collapses, so he patiently resets, only to rope-a-dope another crossover for an easy hoop and the harm. But here it's the two-man game where he snakes back to the corner, Embiid drops off, so he takes the little mid-ranger, and this time he's matched up with the smaller Maxey, waits for the help defender to leave, then plays with his back to the basket for the 16-foot fade. So this New York team isn't really as defensively minded as Iverson's 2001 squad, but they also have a ton of heart, a defensive-minded coach, and in the middle of it all is a Mighty Mouse guard with unbelievable skills and a dazzling array of counters who has patiently found his rhythm to pour in 86 points and 23 assists in the last 2 games. So, yeah, they're a little different, but they do remind me of that AI team from 2 decades ago. And while I don't know the answer yet, the question is whether Jalen Brunson can also take the Knicks all the way to the NBA Finals. To support us directly, head over to patreon.com/thinkingbasketball. We have our playoff stats board going live this week, a Discord community, and more. Thanks as always for watching this one. Hope you are enjoying the playoffs and that you are having a great day.